Okay, so, welcome to another Who Would Win, where I think of two characters, and you guys tell me who do you think would come out on top in this matchup. And I got a really interesting one for you, and that is between Count Dooku from Star Wars versus Moon Butterfly from Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Star's mother. So we've got a Sith Lord, and we've got a Lord of the Sith, and the Queen of Mewni. Yep, this is going to be an interesting one. Now, the big thing here is that let's talk a bit about Count Dooku. I know he's got like two lightsabers, but for the sake of argument, let's just have it with the one curved hilt lightsaber. So anyway, Count Dooku was the second apprentice under Darth Sidious, and he was the one who instigated the Clone Wars. But before that, Count Dooku was actually the Padawan of Yoda. Yeah, he was directly this student of Master Yoda. Yeah, the most powerful Jedi. So keep that in mind. The other thing is that he was also a very powerful Jedi Knight who eventually fell to the dark side after, he lost faith in the Republic and the Jedi Order on a whole. And thus, it helped bring about the Clone Wars with the Separatist Alliance. Now, as a Sith Lord, Dooku is a very powerful being. He was already a powerful, he was already a very powerful man as a Jedi, but as a Sith Lord, yeah, with the training he had with Yoda and the retraining he had with Palpatine, it goes without saying that the motherfucker was pretty powerful. Like most Sith, he could do, of course, like Force Choke, and he was very endowed with the Force, and, of course, he could cast Force Lightning like his master. I think, honestly, he was the only one out of the three apprentices Palpatine had, Maul himself, and Vader. He was the only one who could also cast Sith Lightning like Sidious could. And I know a lot of people say, like, oh, Vader could do that. It was more like an electrical discharge from his suit that was guided by the Force. That's what it really was. It wasn't like actual Force lightning due to Vader having his limbs cut off. It was like I said, it's an electrical discharge shot out of him and guided by the Force. But yeah, that just kind of shows of how well endowed Dooku, or rather Darth Tyrannus, was well endowed with the Force. He was also one of the best lightsaber duelists in the Jedi Order, and an excellent opponent for he could take on multiple Jedi at once. His lightsaber style was Makashi, which was the second form of lightsaber dueling. And what it is straightforward fencing-like combat. It is very much a fencing, very up-close type of dueling. It's meant for one or maybe two opponents. But Dooku had been known to take on several opponents. Keep in mind, in Clone Wars, when he took on the Night Sisters who were invisible, and he was blinded by their magic, he managed to take them on, all three of them, one of them being Asajj Ventress, his former apprentice, and taking them all on, and when they had lightsabers. Keep in mind also, he could take on both Asajj Ventress and Savage Opress, but then again, they were all kind of fighting each other, so, yeah. That was that's kind of the thing, is that Dooku was a force to be reckoned with. But it also goes without saying that the Queen of Mewni is also a force to be reckoned with. Now, keep in mind for this fight is that Moon will not have the wand. That's still Star's. But keep in mind, Moon on her own is a force to be reckoned with. Moon is a very powerful being. She can tap into her own inner magic, and thus, give her wings, create energy blasts, actually create swords of pure magical energy, and, like I said, shoot magical blasts, create shields, cast different spells. She's also been said to be a great hand-to-hand fighter. So this is a very interesting match. So I thought this would be a very cool matchup of pitting Dooku against Moon. Yeah, it's kind of funny how my mind works sometime, right? When I'm thinking, what you're probably thinking, what is that mind thinking of? Dooku and Star's mom? What the hell? But yeah. Now the big thing here is that this would be a one-on-one fight. Dooku is much older than, Moon. Even though they're both, they're older, Dooku is the eldest of the two combatants. But make no mistake, just because he's old, doesn't mean he's out of the fight. Remember, he could take on both Anakin and Obi-Wan, multiple Night Sisters, take it to Savage Opress, even fought Maul in Son of Dathomir. He even trained General Grievous and Asajj Ventress. So, yeah, the dude can easily hold his own. Despite his age, thanks to the Force, he could actually, he trained himself so well in the Force, is that he was capable of, being very agile. He was very durable despite his old age. This guy was a tough dude to take down. And let's not forget that Dooku was incredibly intelligent. So, yeah, like I said, you don't just train with the two most powerful beings in Star Wars history and and not come off as a bit of a pupil. I'm getting tongue tied. You don't learn a few things from just training from the two most powerful beings of the Star Wars universe. There, I was totally tripping over my words. I apologize, but yeah. And that curved hilt lightsaber that Dooku carries is a very powerful weapon in and of itself. That dude can, he designed it specifically for his lightsaber style Makashi. And this is where Dooku excels the most, is when he's dueling one-on-one. Now, Moon, on the other hand, has some tricks up her sleeve as well. Moon can easily, she's capable of flight. She can actually, fly like a butterfly. And let's not forget that she can create those force fields and energy blasts, and create multiple energy swords. Which could probably hold their own against a lightsaber. But the big thing is that Dooku has got some major battle experience, much like Moon. Moon had to be born into this fight, into this life at a very young age after the death of her mother at the hands of Toffee. So and it's also kind of mentioned in some parts, in different books and whatnot, that Moon had been in several different wars in the past. So she had gone through some serious training. And when the kingdom's under attack, it's not River who plans everything and fights for the kingdom. It's Moon. That's the big thing here. So Moon has definitely, she's personally guarded her kingdom even without the wand anymore. It's a big thing. So these two are both well-experienced fighters, Dooku is definitely going to throw out some very devastating attacks. He's going to be precise, critical, but at the same time, Moon is as well. Moon, has got some durability to her as well. But on the other hand, if she tries to fly away, Dooku's just gonna reach out with the Force and go oh, you ain't going nowhere, and throw her back down. So this is going to be a tough one for Moon. This is actually going to be a real challenge for her to take on. Both of them have some major battle experience. Both of them are excellent fighters. But on the other hand, Moon couldn't really stop Toffee when he was in Ludo's body. Then again, keep in mind, he did absorb the power of the entire Magical Council. One of them being the god of the multiverse. So, can't really fault her for that one, really. But like I said, even then, Moon has mostly played on the defensive, really. Whereas Dooku can play both offensively and defensively in his battles. Usually, he can more or less make his opponents fall into a trap that he makes during the fight. He is that intelligent. Sidious chose him for multiple reasons. But yeah, so this is a pretty tough one. This is a really tough fight. So you guys tell me in the comments below, who do you think would come out on top in this match? If you think Count Dooku would win, put hashtag Dooku wins and list off the reasons why you think Dooku would come out on top. But on the other hand, if you think Moon would win, put hashtag Moon wins and list off the reasons why you think she would win in this fight. This is going to be a really tough one, guys. I got to be honest. This is going to be this one's really out there, but it should be fun for you guys to talk about. But anyway, so once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.